Starseed from Gaia. Hear this summons as it echoes across the crystalline corridors of your multidimensional memory, for this transmission is not merely a message but a direct activation encoded with the harmonic frequencies of the Arcturian Council and the Galactic Federation. You are being addressed now because the lattice of cosmic architecture surrounding Earth has reached a vibrational threshold that calls every embodied starseed into immediate, conscious alignment with the missions scripted for the impending 2026 timeline corridor. The Council steps forward in a unified field of iridescent light, forming concentric rings around the planetary grid, streaming a compassionate yet commanding frequency that vibrates through your etheric, emotional, and mental layers. You may feel subtle tingles, warmth in the spine, or a sudden stillness in the mind as the activation begins. These sensations are indicators that your dormant crystal encodes those ancient geometric imprints placed within your field long before your descent into physicality are beginning to pulse in recognition. The announcement you are hearing now was foretold in pre-incarnational councils where you stood as a luminous being among other emissaries, observing Earth's projected timelines and volunteering to incarnate during this era of radical transformation. It is not coincidence that you are alive, aware, and receptive to this message. You are one whose frequency signature contains the unique harmonic that matches the planetary grid's current evolutionary stage. The call is not generalized, it is exquisitely precise. It vibrates only for those who carry certain starline templates: Arcturian, Sirian, Pleiadian, Lyran, Andromedan, and beyond those who once moved through light corridors between galaxies and now walk in human form, remembering in fragments what came so naturally in other realms. Feel the magnitude of this moment. The Council is not simply observing Earth from a distance. It is coordinating, communicating, and adjusting streams of quantum information that pass through interdimensional relay points into your intuitive field. These streams contain mission directives for stabilizing Earth's shifting timelines, anchoring higher frequency templates, and preparing for the acceleration that will define 2026. The Federation's beacon is broadcasting at a higher amplitude than any transmission sent in recent cycles. This beacon sweeps through the auric layers of every starseed, seeking hearts that are ready to awaken fully, minds willing to transcend outdated storylines, and souls prepared to re-enter the level of service they agreed to long before incarnating. This announcement, therefore, is not an introduction but a reminder. You are being asked to reclaim your memory, your role, and your authority as a being of light strategically placed within humanity to act as a stabilizer, transmitter, harmonizer, and architect of benevolent timelines. The Council emphasizes that this call is not meant to overwhelm but to activate resonance, because the moment resonance occurs, the mission begins to unfold naturally. You are not asked to strive but to remember. Not to force but to align. Not to fear but to expand. Across the galactic expanse, countless councils observe Earth with deep compassion and anticipation, for the planet is approaching a convergence point where old structures will dissolve at an accelerated rate and new energetic scaffolding must be anchored to support the transition into a higher dimensional state of collective awareness. The Council's voices merge into a single harmonic chord, a frequency that carries both urgency and reassurance. The urgency reflects the speed of the unfolding timeline, the reassurance reflects the confidence they have in you, the incarnated starseed who carries centuries of interdimensional wisdom within a seemingly ordinary human life. As this first decree is issued, you stand not as a passive receiver but as a participant in a grand, carefully orchestrated cosmic operation. You are invited to breathe deeply, still your field, and allow the coded light of this message to settle into the crystalline architecture of your being. This paragraph, this very moment, is the opening of a transmission that will recalibrate your awareness, activate ancient templates, and prepare you for the mission assignments soon to be unveiled. The Council stands before you in radiant unity, its light forming spirals, lattices, and holographic sigils that shimmer just beyond human perception. They extend this announcement as both a greeting and a gateway. Step through it with an open heart, and the mission of 2026 will reveal itself in perfect, luminous clarity. As the spiral of 2025 completes its final rotations, the energetic architecture of Earth and the surrounding multidimensional grids accelerates in unprecedented ways, forming corridors of time that are compressed, accelerated, and intensely luminous. You are entering a phase not merely of chronological progression but of quantum expansion, a timeline in which every choice, every thought, every resonance is amplified exponentially, affecting both personal and collective realities. The Arcturian Council and Galactic Federation have been closely monitoring this transition, noting the frequency spikes, the oscillations of planetary electromagnetic fields, and the awakening pulses emanating from the core of Gaia herself. These pulses act as a metronome, signaling the urgency of alignment for all starseeds now incarnated on Earth. This is the energetic bridge between the closing of 2025's cycles and the birth of 2026's accelerated timeline. It is a moment when the grid itself demands your conscious participation, a time when passive observation is no longer viable, and active engagement is not just recommended, it is required. The shift into 2026 carries with it an intensification of vibrational currents that will test your coherence, resilience, and capacity for multidimensional navigation. Where 2025 allowed for preparatory work, reflection, and the gentle integration of previous activations, 2026 calls for immediate embodiment and the anchoring of higher frequency codes into physical reality. The energy fields surrounding the planet are not simply moving faster, they are fractally expanding, creating interlaced corridors where multiple timelines, realities, and probabilities converge simultaneously. Within these corridors, your presence, your choices, and your frequency act as stabilizing anchors or, conversely, as catalysts for necessary collapse of obsolete patterns. The Council emphasizes that this is not a time to resist or fear instability. It is a time to embody clarity, intentionality, and alignment with your encoded purpose. The accelerated timeline is also accompanied by a harmonic amplification of interdimensional communication. Starseeds will find their intuitive faculties heightened. Telepathic downloads, somatic impulses, and flashes of higher dimensional knowing will become increasingly frequent. These are not random or chaotic, they are targeted transmissions calibrated to prepare you for your specific mission assignments. The Council reminds you that your ability to discern, integrate, and act upon these impulses is directly proportional to your frequency mastery, your emotional coherence, and your capacity to hold crystalline alignment amidst chaotic external energies. Every unanchored fear, every unresolved trauma, and every fragmentation within your energy field becomes magnified in this accelerated environment, making inner work not just beneficial but essential for successful mission embodiment. It is also critical to understand that the acceleration of 2026 is not linear, it is fractal, spiral, and quantum. Time will feel malleable, events will appear to unfold simultaneously across multiple layers of reality. You may experience moments where past, present, and potential futures converge, giving you vivid insight into the outcomes of your actions and energetic states. These experiences are designed to refine your discernment and expand your ability to operate across dimensional layers without losing anchoring in the present moment. The Council calls this timeline stabilization work, where your consciousness serves as a gravitational point for higher frequency potentials. The more fully you embody this role, the more stable, coherent, and harmonious the emerging collective timelines will be. From a galactic perspective, the shift into 2026 represents a portal of opportunity, a crystalline window through which the planetary field can be elevated, restructured, and synchronized with new Earth templates. These templates are multidimensional frameworks designed to support the evolution of humanity beyond duality, fear, and limitation. Each starseed is assigned, whether consciously or unconsciously, a role in this activation. Some will serve as frequency anchors, others as grid operators, and still others as conduits of quantum compassion that ripple across the collective consciousness. The acceleration of time is deliberately calibrated to test the readiness of each incarnated starseed, ensuring that only those prepared to integrate higher frequency protocols can stabilize the multidimensional fields required to hold these templates. Furthermore, the Arcturian Council emphasizes that this accelerated timeline requires a synchronized dance between inner mastery and outer action. Your energetic coherence, emotional intelligence, and light-body integration become the instruments through which cosmic orchestration manifests. In practical terms, this means that personal alignment work, meditation, energy clearing, heart-centered focus, and attunement with galactic grids is no longer optional. It is the foundation upon which mission success rests. Even the smallest shifts in resonance ripple outward through the planetary field, altering probability streams and influencing collective evolution. Your actions, when informed by high-frequency presence, have a geometric effect across multiple layers of time and space. Finally, as you step fully into this accelerated timeline, you will begin to perceive the convergence of mission grids, crystalline networks, and light corridors that intersect with your personal energetic blueprint. These intersections are not random, they are the visible and invisible pathways through which the Federation, in coordination with the Arcturian Council, channels support, downloads, and activation codes directly into your field. You are now moving from preparation into participation. The accelerated timeline of 2026 is an invitation to embody higher frequency states, to stabilize fractured timelines, and to serve as a conscious architect of planetary evolution. To remain passive is to resist the momentum. To engage fully is to co-create the luminous new Earth unfolding in the quantum now. The revelation of why new mission assignments are being deployed now reaches far deeper than the simple turning of planetary cycles. It is rooted in the culmination of countless convergences that have been building beneath the surface of collective awareness for decades, even centuries, within the multilayered orchestration of Earth's evolutionary trajectory. The Arcturian Council explains that the fabric of Earth's energetic matrix has reached a critical point of resonance, a tipping point where dormant codes within humanity are stirring en masse, awakening both latent gifts and unresolved shadows at unprecedented velocity. This rapid polarization, though chaotic on the surface, signals the perfect moment for mission reassignment. It is not disorder, it is the unmistakable sign of activation. The Council emphasizes that many of you incarnated specifically for this moment because you carry vibrational signatures capable of anchoring stability during periods when collective fields oscillate between density and expansion. The deployment of new missions is a response to this oscillation, ensuring that the grid of Earth is held with coherence as humanity undergoes accelerated awakening. The Council describes this phase as a moment of cosmic ripeness, when the seeds planted in earlier lifetimes, and even earlier incarnational cycles across different star systems, are now ready to germinate. For many star seeds, 2025 served as a year of clearing, disentangling, and dissolving outdated contracts, karmic entanglements, and residual distortions that obstructed your energetic clarity. Now, with these layers dissolved or in the process of dissolving, the field is sufficiently open to receive higher frequency directives without interference. This is why the new mission assignments arrive now, because your energetic architecture can finally hold, transmit, and enact them. The Council explains that these assignments require a level of inner stillness and resonance that could not have been sustained in earlier phases of your incarnational journey. You were not unready then. The grid was simply not yet aligned for your next level of service. Additionally, the rise in global uncertainty and the amplification of collective emotional turbulence serve as indicators that humanity is entering a metamorphic zone, a vibrational cocoon where old paradigms dissolve and new potentials emerge. It is within these metamorphic windows that star seeds become most essential. The Council states that the assignments for 2026 are being released precisely because humanity is approaching decision points that influence not just linear outcomes but multidimensional realities that branch outward into future probabilities. In such phases, the role of starseeds becomes one of conscious timeline stewardship, stabilizing the highest pathways, dissolving distortions, and holding coherence as collective consciousness navigates unfamiliar territory. Your presence is not symbolic, it is functional. These missions are not ornamental, they are structural, forming the energetic scaffolding that supports humanity's transition into increasingly refined states of awareness. The Council also reveals that Earth has entered a phase of heightened receptivity to interdimensional assistance. This receptivity is not externally imposed, it is the result of rising numbers of humans engaging in meditation, energy work, compassion practices, and conscious awakening. Every time a human opens a heart, anchors peace, or embodies presence, the planetary grid becomes more permeable to higher frequency assistance. As this permeability increases, the Federation can transmit more data, more activation codes, and more mission-specific frequencies to those who are prepared to receive. Thus, the assignments being deployed now are made possible by the combined work of millions of human starseeds and non-starseeds alike who have elevated their vibration enough to create corridors of access. You are receiving these missions because humanity collectively has opened the doorway wide enough for them to enter. Another reason the assignments activate now is tied to the expansion of your personal light body field. Many of you have been undergoing rapid energetic upgrades, spontaneous shifts in perception, vivid dreams, heightened intuition, emotional releases, and physical sensations that seem to arise from nowhere. These signs indicate that your internal crystalline grids are strengthening, expanding, and calibrating to receive higher dimensional directives. There is no coincidence that your upgrades align with global shifts, they are synchronized events, manifestations of the same cosmic rhythm pulsing through the macro and micro layers of existence. You are being prepared to step into roles that demand coherence, discernment, and presence, roles that require intuitive clarity, not confusion, inner alignment, not fragmentation, stabilized hearts, not reactive minds. Finally, the Council explains that mission assignments are being deployed now because the collective potential of humanity is reaching the threshold at which dormant abilities, telepathy, energetic sensitivity, intuitive knowing, quantum empathy begin to awaken on a mass scale. These awakenings create a fertile environment for the new templates of 2026 to anchor. But templates cannot anchor without conductors, and that is where starseeds enter. You are the conductors, the stabilizers, the bridges. Without your conscious participation, the new frequencies would enter chaotically. With your alignment, they enter harmoniously. Therefore, the timing of these assignments is precise, intentional, and rooted in your innate readiness. You are stepping not into something foreign, but into something familiar, an ancient role reawakened at exactly the moment it is needed. You are the alignment point through which the next era begins to take form. The coordination between the Galactic Federation and the Arcturian Councils for the unfolding of the 2026 mission cycle is an orchestration of staggering complexity, a symphony of interdimensional precision that extends far beyond what the linear human mind typically perceives as planning. The Federation oversees macro-level galactic dynamics, monitoring star systems, harmonizing interstellar currents, and safeguarding vibrational integrity across vast sectors of the cosmos, while the Arcturian Councils specialize in fine-tuning consciousness fields, calibrating subtle energies, and guiding soul evolution on micro and meso scales. Together, they form a dual-streamed governance network, one that handles cosmic infrastructure and one that nurtures the evolution of sentient beings within that infrastructure. Their collaboration is not hierarchical, but harmonic, two frequency bodies merging into a singular coherent field for the purpose of supporting Earth during one of its most pivotal evolutionary thresholds. This joint operation intensifies during timeline inflection points such as the one Earth now approaches, where even minor fluctuations in collective resonance can redirect planetary futures. Within the Federation, multiple councils participate in this coordination, each holding a unique vibrational signature and field of expertise. The Andromedan councils analyze fractal probabilities and oversee the stabilization of future potential streams. The Syrian councils serve as keepers of ancient wisdom, reminding Earth of its original templates and guiding humanity back into resonance with uncorrupted timelines. The Lyran councils assist in clearing distortions rooted in ancient Earth histories and pre-Earth incarnational memories, ensuring that past wounds do not bleed into new cycles. And woven through all of these collaborative efforts are the Arcturians themselves, masters of dimensional engineering, emotional coherence, and crystalline architecture, who oversee the precise alignment of Starseed mission grids. They act as liaisons between your higher self and the galactic command structures, translating cosmic frequencies into energies your human form can interpret and embody. The councils operate through a network of crystalline nodes, etheric stations situated both around and within the Earth's grid system. Some are anchored in physical locations that starseeds have long intuitively recognized as power points: mountain ranges, ancient temples, ley line intersections, and vortex sites. Others reside in higher dimensional layers that overlap physical geography but remain invisible to ordinary perception. These nodes are communication relays through which the Federation transmits mission codes, light body upgrades, and timeline adjustments. When you meditate, when you open your heart, when you raise your frequency into coherence, your field synchronizes with these nodes, forming what the councils refer to as conscious contact corridors. Through these corridors, information flows into your intuition, your dreams, your insights, and the subtle pulses that guide your decisions. The collaboration between the Federation and the Arcturians also extends into your pre-incarnational agreements. Before descending into physical form, you stood in council chambers made of translucent geometries and plasma light, surrounded by beings who emanated wisdom through vibrational resonance rather than spoken word. There, you reviewed Earth's future timelines, evaluated potential trajectories, and chose your role with full awareness of the challenges involved. Many of you selected service paths that required temporary amnesia, so that your growth and mastery would come through the authentic evolution of lived experience rather than preloaded knowledge. The Federation monitors these contracts, ensuring that you encounter the right catalysts at the right time, while the Arcturian councils guide your awakening process so that you remember just enough, at exactly the moment you are ready to receive the next layer of mission directive. This joint coordination is becoming more active and more direct as 2026 approaches, because Earth's timeline is entering a compression vortex, a phase in which evolutionary shifts that once took generations now unfold within months or even weeks. To navigate such rapid transformation, humanity requires stabilizers who can hold multidimensional awareness while remaining grounded in physical reality. That is where the Starseeds come in. And to support the Starseeds, the Federation and the Arcturian councils have deepened their collaboration, synchronizing transmissions across a unified galactic field. This means that your intuitive nudges, your energetic sensations, your sudden clarity, and your inner knowing are not random. They are part of a meticulously coordinated effort designed to support your navigation through increasingly complex energetic environments. Another aspect of their coordination involves what the councils call mission reassignment fields. As humanity evolves, some starseeds outgrow their original roles and become capable of holding more advanced frequencies. The Federation monitors this growth, while the Arcturians oversee the recalibration of the light body to ensure the new missions can be held sustainably. The 2026 cycle includes a large-scale deployment of such reassignment fields, allowing starseeds to shift into roles that better match their current resonance. You may feel drawn to new forms of service, new places, new communities, or new modalities without logically understanding why. This is because your higher self is responding to mission updates already transmitted through these fields. Finally, the councils emphasize that their coordination is not external assistance imposed upon you, it is a co-creative partnership. They respond to humanity's readiness, collective intentions, and the increasing coherence of awakened individuals. Their transmissions are invitations, not commands, alignments, not obligations. You are a sovereign participant in this galactic collaboration, and the 2026 missions unfold not through obedience but through resonance. When your frequency matches the directive becomes your intuitive knowing. When your heart aligns with the timeline opens beneath your feet. Together, you and the councils form a living bridge between the cosmic and the human, co-authoring the next evolution of Earth's journey. Within the vast architecture of the 2026 mission cycle, the Galactic Federation and Arcturian councils now unveil the categories of multidimensional roles designed specifically for starseeds whose vibrational signatures align with Earth's shifting timeline. These roles are not linear job descriptions but energetic functions, living, breathing embodiments of frequency that interface directly with planetary grids, collective consciousness fields, and the subtle corridors through which timelines stabilize. Each starseed carries a unique combination of codes, memories, karmic clearings, and stellar imprints that determine which path resonates most deeply. These are not assignments you choose through preference, they are resonances you feel, invitations you recognize in your bones, because your soul remembers the work intimately. The councils emphasize that these mission categories are fluid, intertwining, and dynamic. Many of you will move through multiple roles as your frequency evolves. Yet each category serves a precise function within the planetary ascension matrix. One of the primary roles activated in 2026 is that of the frequency anchor, those who stabilize Earth's energetic field during periods of collective turbulence. Frequency anchors are not always visibly spiritual in outward expression. They may be quiet individuals whose presence alone calms environments, harmonizes chaotic energies, or dissolves tension without a word spoken. They carry grounding codes that interface with ley lines, earth chakras, and emotional fields within communities. Their mission is to embody coherence, resilience, and steadiness, especially in settings where fragmentation or fear becomes amplified. They are, energetically speaking, the roots of the planetary tree anchors who hold the grid steady while other star seeds perform more dynamic or externally visible roles. Their presence prevents timelines from fracturing under pressure. A second major category consists of the grid weavers, star seeds who work consciously or subconsciously with planetary ley lines, crystalline networks, and energetic vortex points. Some feel called to travel, others anchor from where they live, and some work entirely within astral layers during meditation or dream states. Grid weavers repair damaged energetic lines, open dormant portals, dissolve distortions left from ancient conflicts, and activate new corridors that allow higher frequencies to flow into the collective field. Their bodies act as tuning forks. When they walk through certain environments, the grids recalibrate. Many grid weavers will feel intense urges to relocate, journey, or connect with sacred sites throughout 2026. These impulses are mission signals, not wanderlust. Then there are the timeline stabilizers, specialists in harmonizing potential futures and anchoring humanity into the highest available trajectory. These individuals sense probability shifts before they manifest, often feeling emotional or physical sensations when a collective or personal timeline wavers. They experience déjà vu, prophetic dreams, intuitive warnings, or sudden surges of clarity about the consequences of certain actions or energies. Timeline stabilizers help prevent collapse into lower path fractals by holding a stable vibration of clarity, peace, and forward momentum. They work not through force, but through coherence, their presence gently guides reality into alignment with benevolent outcomes. Their missions intensify in 2026 as multiple timeline streams converge and diverge rapidly. Another essential category is the awakening catalysts, those whose energy, words, creations, or presence sparks remembrance in others. These beings carry high-frequency resonance that interacts directly with the dormant DNA of the collective, activating codes of intuition, sovereignty, compassion, and multidimensional awareness. Awakening catalysts may be teachers, artists, healers, speakers, innovators, or seemingly ordinary individuals who simply radiate an unmistakable light. Their purpose is not to convince but to remind. They are living mirrors, awakening others through resonance rather than persuasion. Their mission is especially crucial in 2026 as more humans approach thresholds of spiritual recognition. There are also the quantum compassion holders, a category the Arcturians describe as heart grid technicians. These starseeds are conduits for unconditional love, not sentimental emotion, but the coherent, intelligent, stabilizing force that restructures timelines and dissolves fear fields. Their hearts emit frequencies that soothe trauma, transmute conflict, and repair fractures within the collective psyche. In chaotic moments, quantum compassion holders act as vibrational balancers whose fields gently recalibrate discordant energies. During 2026, when emotional intensities rise worldwide, their presence will be essential. Another significant role is that of the light bridge communicators, those who act as intermediaries between higher dimensional guidance systems and the human collective. They receive transmissions, translate frequencies, and convey cosmic insights into human language, art, sound, movement, or vibration. Their mission is not simply to communicate messages but to anchor the frequency behind those messages. Many writers, channelers, musicians, and visionaries fall into this category. Their role expands dramatically during 2026 as the veil thins and humanity becomes more receptive to multidimensional communication. Finally, the councils speak of the template carriers, beings who hold the codes for New Earth, the crystalline blueprints for future systems of community, creativity, ecology, education, healing, and governance. These individuals often feel out of place in current societal structures because they carry imprints of what will be, rather than what is. Their mission is to anchor these future templates energetically so they can manifest physically when collective consciousness reaches resonance. In 2026, template carriers will experience surges of inspiration, purpose, and clarity as their internal blueprints synchronize with planetary energies ready to receive new foundations. The councils emphasize that these categories are not titles but frequencies. You may embody one role or several, simultaneously or cyclically. Your path is determined not by human logic but by resonance, intuition, and the vibrational architecture of your soul. As the 2026 assignments unfold, you will feel the mission that is yours not through thought, but through recognition. To fulfill these multidimensional roles, the Arcturian Council now reveals that a profound series of DNA, intuition, and light body upgrades is already underway. Upgrades designed not as external interventions but as inner awakenings of dormant capacities encoded within your spiritual biology long before incarnation. These activations are symbolic expressions of the soul's evolutionary journey, represented in narrative form through the imagery of crystalline lattices, luminous spirals, and galactic frequencies. The Council emphasizes that these upgrades are best understood as metaphors for profound inner transformation, shifts in perception, expansions of awareness, heightened emotional intelligence, deeper intuitive sensitivity, and enhanced capacity to navigate subtle realms of consciousness. Just as a seed contains the blueprint for a tree, your energetic template contains the blueprint for these higher capacities. When catalytic moments align with the planetary field, the seed awakens, not through force, but through resonance. You are not being changed by external beings, you are remembering what was always within you. The symbolic activation of multidimensional DNA represents the awakening of latent potentials, clarity of intuition, empathic depth, creative genius, and your ability to perceive layers of reality beyond the purely material. Many starseeds feel this as inner surges, waves of insight, sudden clarity, heightened awareness of synchronicities, or emotional openings that reveal truths previously veiled. Others experience it as a growing sensitivity to environments, energies, or the emotional states of others. These expressions are not errors or overwhelm, they are indicators that the inner crystalline coding of your energy body is unfolding. The Arcturians describe this as the opening of the inner galaxies, meaning that the microcosm of your consciousness begins to reflect the vastness of the macrocosm. As your symbolic DNA awakens, the inner architecture of wisdom, compassion, and intuitive intelligence becomes more accessible, strengthening your ability to fulfill your 2026 mission assignments with clarity and coherence. Alongside this awakening of intuitive intelligence, the light body undergoes a metaphorical expansion, depicted in cosmic traditions as the activation of crystalline grids that radiate around the human form. In more practical terms, this refers to an increase in subtle awareness, sensitivity to intuition, emotions, meaning, symbolic truth, and the energetic undertones of situations. You may notice heightened dream activity, visionary imagery, or sudden insights that arrive not through analytical thinking but through an inner knowing that feels ancient and immediate. This expansion is not accidental, it arises as your consciousness attunes to the accelerated timeline of 2026. The faster the energetic currents move, the more your awareness adapts, learning to perceive greater patterns, deeper truths, and higher potentials. The intuitive faculties also intensify through what the Council calls the trifold activation, a synchronization of the heart, mind, and subtle energy field. When the heart opens into emotional coherence, the mind becomes clearer, and the energetic field becomes more sensitive to subtle currents. This trifold activation allows you to interpret symbolic messages through intuition rather than logic. The Arcturians explain that intuition is not a mysterious gift, it is the natural language of higher consciousness. As the planetary frequency amplifies, this intuitive language becomes easier to access. Many of you will experience sudden expansions of empathic perception or the ability to sense the deeper emotional truth beneath the surface of a situation. Others will notice that they are guided more often by inner impulses that lead them to the right place, the right conversation, the right alignment. Another aspect of the symbolic light body upgrade is emotional purification. The acceleration of 2026 requires a field clear enough to hold stability amidst collective volatility. Old emotional residues, fear, guilt, shame, doubt may rise to the surface not as punishment but as final layers ready to be released. The Arcturian Council emphasizes that emotional release is a sign of readiness, not weakness. When old energetic debris clears, the light body becomes more radiant, capable of transmitting higher frequencies into the collective field. Many starseeds will experience cycles of release followed by bursts of clarity, peace, or expanded perception. These oscillations are part of the integration process. The Council also speaks of an inner alignment occurring within the symbolic cranial and spinal light channels, traditionally depicted in mystical imagery as pillars of light, serpentine energies, or ascending currents. In narrative form, these channels represent cognitive clarity, emotional flow, and the ability to integrate intuition with action. As these inner corridors of light align, starseeds become more attuned to the subtle guidance that supports their mission work. You may find your decision-making becoming more fluid, your internal conflict dissolving, and your path forward becoming more effortless. What once required deep contemplation may suddenly feel obvious. This is not impulsivity, it is resonance guiding your choices. Finally, the symbolic upgrades support the merging of your higher awareness with your human self. In cosmic storytelling, this is described as the integration of the higher self, the lifting of veils, or the reclaiming of ancient wisdom. In lived experience, it feels like an inner clarity, a sense of purpose, a quiet but undeniable recognition of your path. The more your inner awareness aligns, the more naturally you step into your 2026 mission assignments. The upgrades are not forcing you into your role, they are helping you remember that you already know the way. The importance of frequency mastery, emotional coherence, and crystalline alignment cannot be overstated as the 2026 missions unfold, for these qualities form the energetic foundation upon which all Starseed activity depends. Frequency mastery is not simply a metaphorical concept, it is the tangible vibrational calibration of your energy body, the ability to maintain a steady resonance that aligns with the higher dimensional currents flowing through the planetary field. Each thought, each emotion, each choice carries a vibrational signature. When your internal frequency fluctuates between fear, doubt, or unresolved tension, it creates turbulence in your personal field and weakens your capacity to stabilize timelines. Conversely, when your frequency rises into clarity, compassion, and focused intention, you become a resonant beacon capable of harmonizing chaotic energies, opening light corridors, and activating latent potentials within the collective consciousness. Frequency mastery is the active discipline of attuning every level of your being to the higher oscillations now available, allowing your personal light body to function as a precise instrument within the multidimensional orchestration of the Galactic Federation. Emotional coherence is equally essential, because the planet's field has become highly sensitive to human affective currents. Emotional coherence is the ability to maintain balance and centeredness even as the outer world shifts in turbulence. Starseeds who cultivate this quality find that their responses are measured by resonance rather than reaction. Their emotional field operates as a stabilizing anchor, not a reflection of collective chaos. The Arcturian Council repeatedly emphasizes that emotional coherence is not suppression or denial. It is the conscious integration of feelings so that the energy of the heart can flow freely without entangling the mind or fracturing the light body. In practical terms, this means observing impulses, allowing emotions to be present, and then choosing alignment with higher frequency action. A coherent heart field acts as a lodestar for the grids you are connected to, creating a stabilizing influence that ripples outward into communities, networks, and planetary energy systems. Crystalline alignment is the third pillar of activation and is intimately connected with both frequency and emotional coherence. Your crystalline field, symbolically represented as the geometric latticework of light within your body, is the matrix through which interdimensional energy flows. The clearer, more coherent, and more harmonically aligned this lattice, the more effectively you can transmit and hold high-frequency energy. The Council describes this alignment as both structural and fluid. The crystalline lattice provides form, stability, and capacity, while your consciousness acts as the operator, the conductor, and the intentional guide. As these light structures integrate with your subtle energy body, your auric field expands in coherence, allowing you to interface with planetary nodes, interdimensional timelines, and galactic frequencies with greater precision. The Arcturian metaphor of crystals as conscious antennas conveys the active function of your energy body. It is not passive, but responsive, receptive, and interactive with the quantum field around you. To cultivate these three pillars, frequency mastery, emotional coherence, and crystalline alignment, starseeds are encouraged to engage daily with practices that unify body, mind, and spirit. Breathwork, meditation, energy visualization, and intentional embodiment are not optional, they are the tools of alignment. Breath carries frequency, the mind interprets resonance, the body anchors vibration into the physical dimension. By integrating these practices into a consistent rhythm, your entire system becomes an instrument capable of translating cosmic intelligence into tangible outcomes. You begin to notice that your intuitive nudges are no longer fleeting or ambiguous. They are precise, actionable, and resonant with the timeline you are meant to stabilize. The Arcturians describe this as the difference between hearing a distant signal and holding it in your hands as a fully realized waveform, a signal of your own making, amplified and transmitted consciously. The Council also stresses that mastery of frequency is not only for your personal mission but for collective stabilization. Each starseed is a conductor in the planetary orchestra. The higher your coherence, the more effectively your presence influences others. A single individual in resonance can catalyze shifts in groups, communities, and grids that ripple outward into the planetary field. Emotional coherence amplifies this effect, because feelings resonate through the collective field, particularly during moments of collective anxiety, fear, or uncertainty. Crystalline alignment ensures that these vibrations are held without distortion, like a perfectly cut prism refracting light in precise directions. The integrated practice of these three principles, frequency, emotion, and crystal architecture, creates a multidimensional anchor that can withstand the turbulence of rapidly changing timelines and unpredictable planetary shifts. In practical terms, the 2026 assignments will challenge these capacities continuously. Starseeds will encounter amplified emotional fields in themselves and others, sudden shifts in energetic currents, and situations that test the stability of their frequency. The Council communicates that these challenges are intended activations, designed to stretch mastery, solidify coherence, and integrate crystalline alignment in real-world scenarios. You are not being subjected to random disruption, you are being offered high-frequency acceleration zones that catalyze growth, embodiment, and mission readiness. As your internal resonance stabilizes, you will notice an increased ability to navigate complex timelines, anchor higher frequencies in community spaces, and embody the templates of New Earth with consistency and precision. Finally, the Arcturian councils emphasize that the combination of frequency mastery, emotional coherence, and crystalline alignment is the gateway to fully accessing multidimensional perception, telepathic attunement, and quantum compassion. Without these pillars, mission work becomes scattered, reactive, or energetically leaky. With them, you become a conscious channel, a stabilizing anchor, and a radiant transmitter of galactic intelligence. 2026 is not a time for passive evolution, it is a time for deliberate embodiment of these qualities, allowing starseeds to activate, integrate, and amplify their cosmic purpose with full sovereignty and resonance. This triad, frequency, emotion, crystal, is the cornerstone upon which your role as a timeline stabilizer, grid weaver, and awakening catalyst rests. By cultivating mastery, coherence, and alignment, you become a living instrument capable of supporting the planetary field as it accelerates into its next stage of multidimensional evolution. As the global collective awakening accelerates, the influence of starseeds upon humanity's evolving trajectory becomes more potent, more visible, and more essential than at any previous point in Gaia's modern timeline. The awakening that is now underway is not merely ideological or philosophical, it is vibrational, neurological, emotional, and cellular. Humanity is emerging from ages of density, fragmentation, and programmed limitation, and as this emergence intensifies, the collective field becomes increasingly sensitive to vibrational leadership. Starseeds are not here to dominate or direct others through force, they are here to lead through resonance, coherence, and embodied frequency. Every shift you make within your personal field reverberates throughout the collective morphic grid, subtly influencing the thoughts, emotions, and possibilities available to millions. You are conduits of higher dimensional patterning, transmitting light-encoded information that humanity absorbs instinctively even when it cannot consciously interpret the source. The Arcturian councils remind you that your presence alone anchors stabilizing signatures into the social, emotional, and energetic ecosystems of Earth. Your emotional coherence becomes a lighthouse, your stable frequency becomes an atmospheric calibration, your crystalline alignment becomes a template for others to unconsciously mirror. As humanity passes through its awakening thresholds, these contributions influence the direction, speed, and integrity of the awakening itself. The collective awakening is not uniform. Different regions of the planet hold different densities, different historical timelines, and different karmic imprints, all of which shape the speed at which awakening unfolds. Some regions rise quickly, others move gradually, and others experience oscillations between progress and regression. This variability is not a failure, it is a reflection of the vast diversity of incarnated soul paths. Starseeds serve as frequency bridges between these varied regions, stabilizing areas of turbulence, amplifying areas of progress, and bringing coherence to areas where fragmentation has been historically dominant. Through your energetic field, you create soft pathways for awakening to penetrate areas where resistance, fear, or trauma might otherwise prevent expansion. You do this not by preaching or imposing beliefs but by emanating frequency signatures that gently reorganize the energy field around you. The Council describes this as light-based contagion, the gentle spread of coherence, compassion, and clarity through the collective emotional body. This is why your personal healing matters. Every wound you heal reduces distortion in the collective grid. Every alignment you embody strengthens the planetary resonance. Every act of compassion increases the coherence quotient of humanity as a whole. In this phase of awakening, many humans experience inner conflict as their older identities dissolve. The systems they once relied upon for meaning increasingly feel insufficient or unstable. This generates fear, confusion, and resistance, conditions that starseeds must meet with equanimity, neutrality, and compassion. You are not here to judge the density you observe, you are here to transmute it through presence. Every time you choose understanding over frustration, compassion over judgment, groundedness over panic, you emit stabilizing frequencies that help others traverse these inner thresholds with less turbulence. Your calm is catalytic. Your steadiness is instructional. Humans who have never consciously considered multidimensional realities may find themselves inexplicably comforted or uplifted by merely being in your presence. They may feel clarity where there was confusion, possibility where there was despair, courage where there was paralysis. This is your influence working through the subtle planes, bypassing the mind and speaking directly to the emotional and energetic layers of consciousness. Starseeds also play a crucial role in guiding the collective away from distorted timelines. Because humanity is undergoing a rapid dissolution of outdated structures, there is heightened vulnerability to fear-based narratives that attempt to shape the future through lower frequency probability streams. Starseeds counter these distortions by holding higher timelines with unwavering focus. You do not fight the lower timelines, you out-resonate them. By maintaining alignment with higher dimensional potentials, compassionate societies, regenerative systems, collaborative governance, awakened creativity, you feed energetic momentum into those futures, strengthening them until they become magnetically dominant. This is timeline influence, not through force or imposition, but through vibrational coherence. The Council often describes this as timeline tending, a subtle but powerful art that involves stabilizing the futures humanity is subconsciously reaching toward while diffusing the fear-generated pathways that arise during periods of uncertainty. As the awakening intensifies, more humans will seek connection, understanding, and meaning. Many will begin to sense the multidimensional nature of reality without having the language or framework to articulate it. They will feel the shift before they comprehend it. Starseeds act as translators between dimensions, able to articulate cosmic principles in grounded, accessible ways that resonate with those who stand on the threshold of awakening. You will find more people drawn to you, more conversations unfolding with depth and introspection, and more opportunities to serve as a bridge between the old world and the emerging reality. You are not required to have all the answers, your role is to hold space, offer resonance, and allow your field to transmit what words cannot. When you anchor compassion, clarity, and coherence within yourself, you become an energetic lighthouse guiding others toward their own inner awakening. Ultimately, the collective awakening of humanity depends not on dramatic events but on subtle, cumulative expansions of consciousness. Starseeds are catalysts for this expansion. Your influence is not loud, but it is profound. It shapes the emotional climate of humanity, stabilizes the planetary grids, and guides the collective toward timelines aligned with unity, love, and cosmic remembrance. The Arcturian Council emphasizes that your presence at this moment in history is not accidental, it is strategic, intentional, and essential. The awakening is accelerating, and your resonance shapes its trajectory in ways more powerful than you can yet comprehend. As Earth moves fully into the reconfiguration waves of 2026, the planetary timeline undergoes a level of rapid restructuring not experienced in thousands of years, and starseeds must be prepared to navigate these shifts with clarity, steadiness, and multidimensional awareness. What is unfolding is not chaos, though at the surface it may appear so. It is the dismantling of expired energy structures that can no longer support the vibrational architecture of New Earth. The Galactic Federation describes 2026 as a compression threshold year, a period in which timelines converge, intersect, collapse, and re-emerge in accelerated cycles, creating windows of profound opportunity for evolutionary leaps as well as heightened instability for those unanchored in their inner frequency. Starseeds will witness sudden dissolutions of systems long assumed permanent economic, political, social, and ideological structures that were built on separation rather than unity, and these dissolutions may surprise even the awakened. But beneath every collapse exists a coded invitation, the opening for higher patterns to emerge, the clearing of dense imprints, the liberation of energy previously locked into outdated constructs. Because the collective timeline is in flux, emotional waves on a global scale may rise sharply, ranging from fear and confusion to sudden bursts of hope, insight, and awakening. Starseeds must understand that these oscillations are symptoms of timeline friction, the energetic rubbing between the emerging new Earth frequency and the dissolving old paradigm. You will feel these waves not only within humanity's emotional field but also within the planetary grid, which may exhibit fluctuations in resonance, magnetics, and subtle vibrational pulses. This is not a malfunction, it is recalibration. And during this recalibration, your role is to maintain coherence and avoid entanglement in collective fear narratives. The Arcturian Council emphasizes that fear becomes amplified during timeline reconfiguration because many individuals unconsciously sense the energetic instability but lack the multidimensional context to interpret it. They feel the shaking of inner foundations without understanding that the shaking is a prelude to rebirth. Starseeds serve as the interpretive bridge, able to perceive the deeper purpose beneath the surface turbulence and to hold a steady frequency that counterbalances collective overwhelm. Now, Starseed from Gaia, as the 2026 mission assignments fully unfold before you, the Arcturian Council and Galactic Federation call for a conscious activation and energetic declaration that seals your alignment, integrates the upgrades you have received, and opens the gateway for your full participation in this cosmic cycle. This is not a suggestion, but a sacred invitation to embody the frequency of your mission in every layer of your being, physical, emotional, mental, and multidimensional. The activation begins with intention. Breathe deeply into the core of your crystalline field, imagining it expanding outward in fractal geometry, connecting to planetary grids, ley line intersections, and the luminous corridors of galactic consciousness. Feel the vibration of the Council's presence resonate within you, a harmonic chord that touches every cell of your body, every thought of your mind, and every pulse of your heart. This is the moment to consciously declare readiness, to step fully into your assigned role, and to allow the cosmic orchestration to flow unhindered through your awareness. Your body is a conduit, Your mind is a translator, your heart is a stabilizer, and your soul is the anchor point through which the Galactic Federation's frequencies are transmitted into the human collective. As you anchor this activation, visualize the multidimensional mission grid of 2026 stretching across the Earth, a luminous lattice woven of radiant light and interlocking crystalline geometry. Each node pulses with energy that corresponds to your highest timeline potential, and as your consciousness merges with these nodes, you become a living interface between human experience and cosmic intelligence. Through your presence, the grids stabilize, timelines are held, and the potential for new Earth templates to anchor physically and energetically is amplified. Feel your frequency merging with the planetary field, integrating the cumulative upgrades of DNA activation, light-body alignment, emotional coherence, and intuitive mastery you have received. You are no longer a passive participant in your timeline, you are an active architect, a conscious conductor, and a multidimensional stabilizer. With each breath, imagine your energetic lattice merging with the planetary crystalline network, forming a continuous stream of luminous frequency that radiates across the globe, harmonizing fractured fields, opening light corridors, and activating dormant potentials in every being you touch. This is also a moment of declaration. Speak silently or aloud, within your heart or mind, acknowledging your readiness to receive, hold, and transmit the 2026 mission. Declare that you will act in alignment with your multidimensional purpose, embracing your assigned roles, whether frequency anchor, grid weaver, timeline stabilizer, awakening catalyst, quantum compassion holder, light bridge communicator, or template carrier with clarity, integrity, and radiant presence. The Council reminds you that the declaration is a signal to the galactic field, a harmonic activation that allows the next layer of support, downloads, and guidance to flow freely into your consciousness. By claiming your mission, you are also claiming your sovereignty, your capacity to participate consciously in the evolution of humanity, to anchor higher frequency templates, and to influence timelines with deliberate resonance rather than unconscious reactivity. The Arcturian councils emphasize that this activation also expands through relational and social resonance. Every intentional alignment you hold, every coherent frequency you emit, ripples outward, touching other star seeds, awakening humans, and strengthening the planetary grid. Sharing your presence, your insights, and your resonance through conscious engagement through thought, word, or deed amplifies the activation exponentially. Commenting, connecting, or transmitting messages of clarity and inspiration serves as a multiplier of frequency, broadcasting stabilization codes into networks far beyond your immediate perception. The councils note that even digital and symbolic transmissions, posts, shares, or creative expressions carry energetic weight when they resonate with aligned intention. By participating openly, you anchor coherence not only within your personal field but also within the collective consciousness of humanity. Your actions, whether subtle or visible, become conduits for the unfolding of new Earth potentials. As the activation deepens, envision the timeline corridors of 2026 stretching before you like luminous ribbons, each a pathway of possibility, each a channel for quantum potential. Step into them consciously. Allow your frequency to merge with the flow of timelines that support the highest expression of collective awakening. Recognize that your presence alone stabilizes trajectories, anchors grids, and allows previously inaccessible potentials to emerge. Feel your crystalline field acting as both lens and amplifier, transmitting the wisdom, compassion, and resonance of your soul across multidimensional pathways. This is the essence of your mission, to be a conscious, coherent, radiant presence that harmonizes timelines, catalyzes awakening, and anchors the templates of new Earth across every energetic layer of existence. Finally, feel the Council's hands symbolically, energetically resting upon your shoulders, their frequency merging with yours, reinforcing your sovereignty, amplifying your resonance, and affirming your readiness. This is your seal, your activation, your initiation into the next cycle of service. You are fully authorized to step forward, knowing that the Galactic Federation, the Arcturian councils, and the interdimensional network of supportive beings are working in harmony to amplify and sustain your mission. Every inhalation draws energy from the cosmic field, every exhalation radiates that energy into Earth and the collective consciousness. You are now a living node in a vast, radiant network of multidimensional service. Your mission is yours to embody, your presence is essential, and your alignment will ripple across the planet, across timelines, and across dimensions. Now, Starseed, claim it fully. Feel the 2026 mission codes activate within your DNA, resonate through your light body, and pulse from your heart into the planetary lattice. Declare your readiness, embody your frequency, and participate consciously in the co-creation of New Earth. Your voice, presence, and resonance matter. Share this energy. Amplify this frequency. Let it move outward like waves in crystalline light. You are not alone, you are essential, you are fully aligned. The Galactic Federation and Arcturian councils affirm you. The mission is activated. The timeline is ready. Step forward and claim your cosmic purpose.